Just ripped out the Sniper 1. Now we have the Sniper 2 set up in here. Going in, like I said in the last video, I have to now run my inlet and return lines with the fuel pressure regulator back over here, where I've got the lines running and going underneath the car to the rear. And just dropped my phone. Now I gotta figure out how to uncluster this mess now that they have that conversion harness. So I had to cut all the looming and everything that was neatly done before. Figure out how I'm gonna route it now and get it through the firewall. Get it mounted to the firewall, I mean, and loomed to where it doesn't look like a complete cluster. All right, so we're gonna start the inlet and the fuel return lines for the Holley Sniper 2. This is the Holley fuel pressure regulator. I've got my return line out of the bottom, gonna be the inlet. I have my bracket somewhere over here. Oh no, it's on the car. Got the Sniper 2 in there. The linkage just kind of mocked up. I'll have to tighten it. I did install the brake firewall braces from Andy Cruz. Looks good. And got the wiring loomed where I think I'm gonna have it. So there's a lot of wires that were coming out of this throttle body, or I guess that's what we call this now, I don't know. And the existing Sniper harness, I already had routed some pieces or some wires through a hole there, and I have it routed all the way around for all the relays, and over here to a distribution block, and for each of mine right here. But point is that it is really hard unless you want to start cutting the harness and the conversion plug-in for the Sniper 2 to the Sniper 1 harness. It's really hard to hide some of those wires or to organize them. So this is how I organize them along the firewall. Essentially the way they come in, they'll come like this, and because they're so long, I have them plugged in this way and then rerouting through here. And this is the other large plug-in right there. So that's how I did it, and then obviously hid everything to get it as neat as possible. It's not even that neat, but it'll work. Now for the return line out of here and inlet and routing down here. I have these covered up, but through there, that's where I have the fuel lines running under the car coming in through there. I'm gonna mount this probably right in this area, and I keep that 60. It's supposed to be running about 58 or 59 psi. I keep it right there. It's easier to see, so that's why I'm probably not going to turn the gauge upright. And then I'll run the let me think about this. I'll run the return to this top one and then out through the bottom over here. All right, so I had to remove the Sniper so I could actually screw in the mount. Something to note on these particular regulators with this mount. Back here you can see I would have had to have
had smaller heads on those screws. However, these are nice and tight. And these holes on the bottom of these regulars are not tapped, so you gotta tap them with these, which comes in the kit. So she's nice and snug now. I was able to reuse one of the lines that I already had. So that's the return part right there. Next, I gotta get the sniper back on the intake manifold, and then I'll measure up my line, and then I'll run my line there. For the inlet, I guess I'm gonna do another line that runs up right here. I'll probably have them kind of clamped together for neatness, and then I'll have it curl around and then run into the back corner right here. So here is the return line. I had to cut one of the old ones, the previous longer one that came into the inlet. I just cut it, put this new fitting on there, and got this guy in there. And so now I'm gonna run the inlet, and I'll probably run a 90 and run it around here, and then bring it to the wall that way. All right, just finished up the other line to the fender, or the inlet line. I was just gonna do one line and curl it around. I didn't quite like the look. This isn't aesthetically the best thing. However, all of this area will be covered by the air cleaner, so that's not a big deal. So essentially this one runs out, runs into these fittings, and then out into the inlet, and then return out into the regulator, out the bottom of the regulator, and back out. And what it'll look like with the air cleaner on. Not too bad. Kept them out of the way so I don't have to remove them if I need to pull off the valve covers. This one right here seems like it might be warped. I'm getting some leaking in that back corner. I've tried to seal that thing a few times with a few different gaskets, but it doesn't seem to be sealing, so I have a second set of the same kind. They're relatively cheap, but if that doesn't work, maybe I'll go with a nicer set of valve covers that'll seal. Yep, finished up with that.